virtual meeting. We know that it was last minute invitation, so we thank you all to have the time to connect. So with you, we have our Chief of Public Affairs and Communications, Alexandra Elizondo. Right.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for hopping on. As Jose said, I'm Alexandra Elizondo, the Chief of Public Affairs and Communications here at HISD, and wanted to create this space for you to be able to ask questions about the news that broke today about the investigation into an organized cheating scandal. And so the district did not know about this. We were unaware of the investigation or the conduct in question until we were notified by law enforcement shortly ahead of the arrests. We are still learning information, as you all are. The conduct in question is completely unacceptable and completely against every one of HISD's values, what we believe about teacher certification, and it is unacceptable. At that, I'll leave it at that, and I will let you ask your questions.
Hi, Abigail Dye with Fox 26. I think one of the big questions on everyone's mind is the employment status of the 3 HISD employees alleged to be a part of this, and yeah, what their employment status is at the moment.
All 3 employees that were arrested today will be relieved of their positions at HISD effective today.
And is HISD aware of any of these teachers who fraudulently acquired the certifications working at HISD at this time?
We do not have that information at this time. We are going to be working in partnership with law enforcement and the Texas Education Agency to determine if the credentials of any of our current teachers need to be reviewed. If any teacher currently working at HISD passed their test through fraudulent means and has a passing Texas score that was obtained through fraudulent means, their contract will be terminated.
This is Bryce from KPRC. I just wanted to ask what you know about the arrests today. We understand that some of them may have happened on campus.
I can't speak to the details of the arrest. You'll have to discuss that with law enforcement. But I know what you know. 3 teachers were arrested. 3 employees were arrested today, and charged with being organizers or participants in a scheme to help teachers obtain certification illegally.
And for any teacher who may have received this certification in HISD, would they have then received a higher salary than an uncertified teacher?
This is not the information in this investigation is about the teaching exam, the Texas teacher exam. So you have to take a Texas teacher exam as part of the certification process. It's the first step to be able to teach in a classroom. This is not about, it's not related to teacher pay or different levels of teacher pay. It's just the first step into working towards your certification in the state of Texas.
Hi, it's Mario Diaz from Channel 2, also from Channel 2. Good afternoon to you. First off, I know that you said that law enforcement had the details, but we were told that school police was involved in arresting those officers. You are a member of the school district. Can you please confirm that school police was involved?
Our police department coordinated with local law enforcement, but school police did not make the arrests.
Got it. Thank you for clearing that up. Separately, okay, so there's a number that the DA's office had at around 400 teachers. We've also seen another number around 200. What is the number that the district is working off of right now in terms of teachers who may have been, who may have fraudulent certification?
I'm working off the same information that I read in the press release from Kim Ogg's office.
So 400, is that correct?
I'm working off the same information in the press release. I
Okay,
haven't been provided any information besides what's in the press release.
that's what we have is 400 in the press release. That's why I wanted to verify that you guys got the same press release. That's why I'm saying 400. Separate from that, with regards to the schools, I know this is a fresh investigation. Do we know this is are we talking about teachers at all grades levels, or is it do we know anything else about this?
Again, I have the same information that was provided to you in the press release from the district attorney's office.
Okay.
And that is all we have right now. We're working closely with law enforcement and the Texas Education Agency to determine the scope of the investigation and the ramifications for our district, like many other districts around the state of Texas are going to be doing. Asher, you have your hand up.
Yep, thank you. So the court documents say that who was this? This was LaShondra, the LaShondra Roberts, who's working at Yates, referred about 90 folks into the alleged cheating scheme. So if that's the case, and if there's if there's high levels of concentrations of teachers involved in this at certain schools, is HISD concerned about being able to replace those teachers if they're terminated?
This is all really new information for us. We will terminate any teacher that passed their test fraudulently. And then we will work to make sure that a highly qualified teacher takes their place. We have really great success record in recruiting teachers and high teacher salaries. So we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Right now, we're just trying to understand the scope of the problem.
Hi, this is Victor with KHOU. Could you just speak broadly to, I guess, the hierarchy between HISD and TEA when it comes to checking certification, what that process is like? And I guess, is this a TEA thing, or does HISD have the power to kind of like investigate this as well in terms of employment and termination, things like that?
The district works with TA and checks TA's database. TA keeps track of teacher certification and credentials for the state of Texas, and it is the Texas exam, TEXES, and the Texas Education Agency that determine whether or not a teacher has passed their exam and whether or not they are eligible to be certified in the state of Texas. That is not something HISD does. That is something the Texas Education Agency does.
Any other question?
Are the teachers on paid? Are the teachers on paid leave, or are they just on leave without pay?
The 3 teachers that were arrested were relieved of their duties. They are on leave with pay because these are arrests and allegations. And so they're on leave with pay until the legal proceedings finish.
I do understand that you said the district became aware of this investigation shortly before the arrest. So are you saying this investigation that started way back in 2020, HISD knew nothing about for the past 4 years and didn't cooperate with law enforcement in any way during that time?
The district became aware shortly before the arrests for this purpose, the purpose of making sure that our HISD PD could coordinate with other law enforcement to make the arrests. HISD got this information very shortly before the arrests. We did not know about this for the period of time that the investigation was unfolding.
Thank you. And when you say shortly before, are we talking hours, days?
I feel like I've answered your question thoroughly. I'm going to take the next one. Asher?
Yeah, I think similar to that, I think a lot of readers will be wondering, how is it possible that this went on undetected? Can you speak to that for a moment?
So Texas teacher certification is not managed by HISD. It's managed by the Texas Education Agency. The district does not run teacher testing or determine if a teacher has passed the test. This investigation was done outside of the district And the TA was notified before the district was notified. We were notified to make sure that the coordination of the arrests of these 3 individuals that had leadership roles in this, this alleged conduct, could be arrested during campus with the least disruption to student learning and the school day for the campuses where these 3 individuals worked. That was the only involvement HISD had prior to this conversation I'm having with you right now and reading the same information you got from other law enforcement agencies.
If you're a parent at home and you have a child who's, let's say, gotten good grades here in the past year or the past 2 years, the high school level, and it comes back that their teacher was one of these teachers that have a fraudulent certification, what's the potential impact for that child's education?
There's absolutely no impact on that child's education. A child's grades have nothing to do with whether or not the teacher was certified or not certified, or whether or not the teacher obtained their certification fraudulently. I do think the implication for all of us should be that we need to hold everyone to a higher bar. Our leaders, our teachers. HISD does not, it thinks it's completely unacceptable that this type of conduct could happen in our profession. People associated with this type of conduct and conduct of this nature is not good for children to see. It degrades the profession. It's not good for society. We do not support this type of conduct, and we will make sure that we partner with law enforcement and the Texas Education Agency to make sure anyone involved that is currently an employee HISD is held accountable.
All
We
right, guys.
did learn, could I ask just one more question? I'm sorry.
So this is the last question I'm going to take.
We did learn during the press conference that 2 of the teachers who obtained the fraudulent certifications are sexual predators who have been prosecuted for sexual crimes. To your knowledge, are either of those teachers former HISD employees?
I don't actually know what you're talking about at all. This was a statewide scandal, statewide conspiracy. I do not know what individuals you're speaking of, or if they are employees at HISD or not. Our employees are background checked, and their sexual predators do not get hired to teach school in HISD.
Quick
That's
logistics
a wrap,
question.
folks. That's a wrap.
No, a logistics question. Nothing else about the information, just logistics. We appreciate you doing this. At least I do. Is there any chance the superintendent will be having a news conference on this evening so we can plan accordingly?
The superintendent will not be having a news conference. He has the exact same information I have. HISD is still learning. We're working in partnership with local law enforcement and the TA. If we know more information, we will schedule another update later this week. You will receive a written statement from our press office shortly. Thank you for your time today. And I'm going to hop off.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.